I'm Melissa Blackwell, and today I'll be presenting you a topic on poverty. Low education, crime, and death are a few effects of poverty. How would you feel if you became closer to your deathbed at an early age? Most of us all around the world can find other people that are dying at an early age due to poverty. Almost most of us would not like to see us and our loved ones in a situation that we could be killed in. Poverty is a problem with severe effects to the human race, and it is a problem that you can find all over the world. And today I'll be speaking about the cause and the effects and how it is such severe to the human race. How would you define poverty? When I hear about people being in poverty, I think about how unhealthy the lifestyle people can be in. The Global Poverty Guide states that poverty is where basic essentials of basic living can't be provided by an individual or family. U.S. determines the people who fall under poverty by comparing families and individuals to their poverty threshold. The Census Bureau statistic chart, according to the chart, the amount of people in the U.S. is 4.8 million people fall under poverty, and the rate of that is about a little over 15%. Idaho, our state, is the 33rd highest state in the country, down from the 6th highest in the country, with the rate of people falling under poverty. Take a minute to come up with the reasons of what people call it, or what causes poverty. The United States Facts on Hunger present that since 2008, poverty became a problem due to the financial economic crisis that had occurred then in that year. And some of the causes that brought out and so many people in poverty in our nation are through the economic changes. The changes include the manufacturing unemployment, switching to service sector employment, the welfare reform, the change of the immigration patterns, and the increasing of the incarceration. Those are just a few of the causes of poverty. And according to Amy Rennell, who is an author of the Causes of Poverty in the Heartland Alliance magazine, there are three main causes that she stated out that was causes of poverty, and one of them being the economic system changing, and secondly, the physical and mental and behavioral issues amongst the people that are considered poor, have low income, and thirdly, the effect of the economic crisis, which is like foreclosures and job layoffs. Like now you got like the causes of the poverty. Now we can like go to like what poverty does to people. Like what do you believe the effects of poverty would be, and how would people react to it? How do you think people will react to the effects? Have you ever thought of the places that have the most crime, like poverty, with places that have the highest level of poverty? You normally have the highest amount of crime, have the highest rate of crime. Blake Taylor, who is an author of the Economics Fundamental Finance, he's of a magazine that is on the website, has an article named Poverty and Crime. And he brings out in this article that crime is definitely a problem in the areas that have high levels of poverty. So that's a source that you guys can go look at if you want to find out what the poverty levels are in crime. The highest rate of poverty leads to higher rate of mental illness, higher levels of stress, and both of these factors lead to like theft, robbery, and other violent acts that are considered against the law in most states. People who can't afford education found more to be in the streets and are associated with gangs, like for instance Ontario, probably not like the wealthiest town around here, but you can notice that there's a lot of like gang people, like people with gangs, crimes and stuff. Blake Taylor also points out that poverty can lead to people having poor education. People can't really afford to go to school because they're not able to either have the financial stability to. Not being able to go to school, you can't find good jobs, so you won't be able to support your family, won't have the be able to afford the basic essentials that the U.S. determines people to be in poverty with. People are more likely to have less access to good role models, so if, let's say, if you had a lot of money, you can go out there and buy like all, things, that represent like paintings, or like go see artistries, have the money to be able to go to all these events and stuff. But people who don't have as much, they can go into the streets and see all these rappers, like the gangbanger rappers society, and that produces like more crime because of what they have to look up to, and the increasing street living, which produces a lot more like you don't feel as comfortable in your house, and so when you feel threatened, you're more likely to think out of your mind, you're not thinking clearly, so you're going to react by not thinking clearly. So if someone were to come in and start threatening you for your food and stuff, you're going to defend yourself and whatnot, and then you're going to get in a fight, and that could cause a crime or an outbreak that, it wouldn't happen if you weren't in poor neighborhood communities. Poverty also leads to health issues. Not being able to afford food can lead to poor nutrition, and psychological problems tend to increase in communities that don't have enough money, along with physical health problems. The Global Poverty Guide shows that there are over 3 billion people in the world who are in hunger due to poverty. The guide also shows that there are over 29,000 children under the age of 5 who die daily because they're not able to afford the basic living essentials. The World Summit says that there are approximately over 8 billion people in the world that die yearly because of the poverty. There are many effects that poverty has on people, and it's kind of disgusting to see how many people can die daily, or how young you can be and not be able to grow up and live a normal life just because you're in a poor community and can't afford to stay alive. Poverty leads to so many problems other than the definition of itself. Crime levels become an issue, health issues increase within time due to being poor, people's minds aren't developed to the fullest, poverty being the case that leads to so many deaths in this, people dying in this world, and which makes a main problem that the world has today. Not only how many people are affected, but how poverty affects people, but even if you don't find yourself poor and you're in a poor community, you're affected by the people around you just because of how they were brought up in the poor community and how they react to certain things. Like if you were to get in a conversation, they're not going to be such well educated, and you can get in conflicting conversation, and that doesn't always end well. Most of us would not like to be in poverty state living because of these factors, which can have a major effect on our life. We would like to be in a healthy home and be able to live a full, healthy life to as many years as we can, but due to poverty, we can find someone else on the street that's 95 years old dying because of how many people die every year, how many children die. Do you think poverty has a seemingly beneficial impact on the human race? Do you believe that you would go help and try to help others, like try to make sure, put your viewpoint in to where, poverty, we can lower the poverty rate and help people become out of the situation that they don't want to find themselves in, or you don't want to see your loved ones be put in that situation? And that's what today is about, or what I talked about, is the effects, causes, and how much of a problem poverty is in the world.